Beautiful, we're rolling. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And let's just get the phone into holster.
Hello, good to see you out filming again.
Good to see you too.
I've got to ask what happened with your trial.
Do you know they postponed it and they postponed it and they postponed it and they postponed it. Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll drop it and then I can sue them and they can put down a deposit on a house for me. That's what I've always said.
Yeah, well, you'll have to think about it because, you know, whether it's worthwhile, because you won't get much money.
Well, we'll have to see.
You know, for the cause, it's good to sue them.
Yeah.
For you personally, I'm not so sure. You know, it's just going to be another.
Yeah, I know. All the courts are corrupt, aren't they?
Yeah. And I say that as an you know, as a solicitor, used to work in the city, and used to know all these people personally, but.
Oh, tell me what it's like as a solicitor. What do you think of the court system?
I didn't really want to be photographed, but I always used to think, and I still actually think that they're not corrupt in the sense that they accept money, which is an advance probably on a lot of other countries, but they do clearly follow the establishment line, and unfortunately nowadays
they get career progression.
They're being in the system,
and they
so I have no, you know, confidence in them whatsoever anymore. But not that I did actually, because I used to do civil cases, but even then, one probably quite innocently, judges can come to quite bizarre decisions. You know, I think if you're on the certainly if you're on the losing side. So the whole thing's a lottery. Always has been, even when they were, you know.
What are some nightmare cases that you've seen?
Well, apart from the ones that are, you know, that are no, I was doing civil cases, so and they used to have a lot of money involved, and I mean, I had one case which was before a High Court judge, commercial court judge. He took 18 months to come to his decision. Now, I thought he came to the right decision.
For 18 months?
So what is the crisis on the horizon?
Well, it's been...
He was agonised.
A copy of this book called The Great Controversy Today.
They went to the Court of Appeal,
The calamities
and
by
the other
man
side had one of
the
the
unsettled state of society, the alarms of
very
war.
top silks around, and the judges basically they didn't understand the case. They were very specialised, and in a way they just wanted to ingratiate themselves with him. They wouldn't let our counsel speak. Now, our counsel ended up actually in later life being the Lord Chief Justice, so he wasn't a nobody. But
Jesus Christ.
Fortunately, because there was a lot of money involved, and as a serious commercial, we managed to get it into the House of Lords, as it then was, and they found, you know, for my company, but it just shows it was a lottery.
Yeah, that would have been ages ago. That would have been ages ago. If it was the House of Lords, that would have been before 98.
Yeah, it was. I left it.
I'm sure you're glad to have escaped that system.
Well, I was glad to at the time. I had in many ways I had a nice citizenship. But the company, I got here and the company got taken over, and I was glad to leave, basically. Before then, I always thought it was better to have a job than no job. You know, one didn't want to be stuck at home.
But sometimes...
But when I was ill, I decided, right, I'm leaving.
Better off being outside the system.
You know, fortunately I got a pension then.
Yeah. It's hard for some people to escape, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think of the turnout today? We've got a few people, haven't we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Filter. Oh, hate whistles. Let's move. Let's move away from the whistles. Hello there.
Hello.
What do you think of Sadiq Khan?
Oh, not a lot.
What needs to be done with him?
Out. Get rid of him. Get London back for the people who live here. He says he listens, he doesn't listen.
And do you want to explain to people who are out in London and watching around the world what Sadiq Khan is doing?
He's taking away our freedom. He's, bit by bit, he's taking away the freedom of movement. He's charging people for living their lives. People don't understand everyone's going to pay for this, whether you've got a compliant car or not, because your tradesmen, your delivery are all going to add on the charges for everything that you buy and every service you require. He's destroying London. We need to get rid.
Is it taking... Do you think it's trying to take people back to feudal times?
Absolutely. I think they want us back doffing us and saying, please sir, can I go out? That's the way it's going.
And some people have told me before that this is something that really sort of targets the elderly and the poor.
Absolutely, because he's done this scrappage scheme. What car can we buy for £2,000? And it's up to 2,000, so you're not guaranteed to get that. The price of compliant cars is rising, and if you try to sell your non-compliant car privately, the price is dropping. Nobody wants them. So he's targeting the poor. He's supposed to be from the Labour Party. My family and myself have been Labour supporters all our lives for generations, and it's disgraceful. We've all cancelled our membership. We never, ever, ever vote Labour again. Never. We've been let down in every direction.
But are you going to fall into the trap of voting for one of the others? Out of the party system, who are you interested in? Is it Piers Corbyn? Is it David Curtin? Is it Lawrence Fox and the Reclaim Party? The Reform Party?
I'm leaning towards Reform. But I haven't made up my mind. But it didn't be one of the big parties because they let the people down every turn.
Do you think that Reform is strong enough? Because I was part of the Brexit Party. I was campaign manager for the Brexit Party. I felt they did a good job. I don't think they're going to make the country a worse place. I think they make the country a better place. But a lot of criticisms we've seen, they've not been the ones coming out on the street. When the lockdowns were happening, they weren't coming out.
Yeah.
Do you think that they have enough of a backbone?
We can only hope. But as I said, I haven't decided yet on what direction I'm going to take. They'll have to convince me. I'm the important person here. They have to convince me to put my X.
Beautiful. Is there anything you want to say to anyone who's thinking of coming to one of these protests?
Get on the street, get your voice heard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I join in my chat? I join in my chat? I want to put.
Okay, if you don't want to participate. Oh, will you hold this though? Sorry.
I don't have last night. What
I'm going to do, I'm going to try and wrap this band around it to keep it nice and secure. Oh, damn it. Yeah, they're all old bands.
It's all about the money, money, money. Oh, just want your money, money, money. It's gonna bring you down, down. Yeah, down. London's got a toxic air. London's got no toxic air. London's got a toxic air. Get called out. Get called out. Get called out. Get called out.
And here we have some members of the biggest gang in London, ladies and gentlemen, talking about armed and dangerous. That's a little bit more secure now. Let's see if we can get to the front. guy that we found.
It's been a long time.
Long time no see.
Good job.
It's good to be back.
It is. Nice to see you.
Let's see how high this goes. Hello to everyone in, by the way. This beard, ladies and gentlemen, look at this beard. What's up, Pedro? What? Yeah. Oh, who have we got here? It's the man of the moment. It is the FBI himself, the female body inspector. Plans of the World Economic Forum, I'm here to support. You know, the system's absolutely like shit, no matter what way you look at it, so I want change. You know what I mean? So I've set up a thing helping the homeless as a way of like, we're all victims of it, in one way, shape, form or another, you know, so I've started that. And that's a way of like pushing back, you know, because obviously we have to help each other, and I'm here because I want change. Simple as. And what are the specific things that you're upset about, that the government or other people are doing?
Well, to be fair, I mean, they're trying to take people's freedom away. We live in a world of plenty, there's enough to go round. We've got our homeless on the streets when they're as in illegal immigrants that are breaking the law, paying people traffickers, coming in their house at night. Our homeless are on the street, we've got poverty, there's enough money to go round. Do you know what I mean? We live in a world of plenty, you know, so it's about time the healthcare, the food they're feeding us, everything they're doing to us is pulling the wool over our eyes and arming us in some sort of way. You know, keeping us down there in like a low state where people are like tied up financially, etc. No one's happy, are they? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm here for, mate. And the thing is as well, I want to see all these freedom fighters kind of come together. Obviously we're fighting for freedom, but I want to see them do things to help people, mate. Do you know what I mean? And if we want regime change, then we've got to make them changes within us. You know what I mean? And obviously that's why I set up the homeless thing, where I go around taking essentials out and stuff like that. I'm not actually an official charity yet, so I don't take donations, but there's a few of us that fund it. You know, like we buy the stuff that we take out, and hopefully that will spread.
Yeah.
What else I've been trying to do, which I've been speaking to one of the organisers, is having a food bank van here and putting a video out, asking protesters that are kind enough to bring an item of food to donate to the food bank. So then every protest, I think we could fill a transit van with food and that would be sent off to a food bank to help people that are struggling as a result of all these things these bankers are doing to the economy, you know, taxing the life out of the poor.
And possibly also let them know why it's happening and educate people.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why we're coming together, because the thing is protesting for our freedom and all that for me is only one part of it. You know what I mean? We've got to, you know, come together and start helping people.
Not just be against something, but be for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it, and that's why I'm here. That's what brings me here today, mate.
Beautiful. Well, if people are it's Nottingham that you're based in.
Yeah.
If people are in Nottingham, they can come. Where can they find your details if they want to help out?
I'm on Facebook. I've got a Facebook page. I've only got 90 followers at the moment, but obviously I'm hoping that will build up. And what else I'm looking for is 2 trustees to become a registered charity. No one, the people that do it with me at the moment, they're not in a position to become trustees, because obviously they're a bit too busy, etc. No one's paid, everyone works voluntary. The kindness that we put out is the real deal. We're not going out and getting paid like 80,000 a year. You know what I mean? What we give, we genuinely give because we care. And yeah. So Facebook page at the moment.
And it's Nottingham Giving.
Yeah, Nottingham Giving, mate.
Well, guys, if you want to go and you want to be for something and not just against something, against stuff but also for stuff, Nottingham Giving on Facebook.
Yeah, brilliant.
Pleasure. What was your name?
Danny.
Nice to meet you, Danny.
We met at the Oak Festival, didn't we?
Yeah.
Monica,
Yeah. With Monica.
But you've done the right thing.
Hello. You're getting taller.
Where can I find you?
YouTube, Resistance GB.
It's difficult. Hey, Wilsey. I'm gonna keep coming on the marches. Obviously, you know, there's various difficulties with working in the system or whatever, and keep them trying to be here. But at the same time, if I don't show an example, all the lazy buggers who are at home, not doing what they should be doing, if we don't set the example, no one's going to come out of it.
Thank you very much, Lando. Do you want to just also mention mention the music you do. Where can people find you?
Right. Well, funny that you say that. I don't know if this will come out in time, but on Thursday in Finsbury Park, there's a big gig going on. The Daz Band are promoting their new album, and so they're headlining. And my new Freedom Band, which is made up of a couple of misfits, which your channel's covered very well. The
non-conformists.
Yeah. Huh?
Non-conformists.
Well, we're not the So I've poached Alex from the non-conformists. We're a new band, and we write songs variously about politics and various girls that Alex, didn't get with and is upset. So Thursday, Finsbury Park, the Night Owl. I'm going to be playing there. But if you want to look at my own stuff, go to Instagram and type in Indigo Veil, VEIL, all one word. And that's me. I'm a musician. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Orlando. Indigo Veil on Instagram. And here on the right, got Resistance GB.
And here we go, Love and Freedom.
I'm not live streaming though.
Is this the original sign?
No, this is an adapted version. It's mostly original. It's also still got a box. It's got a box of all Love and Freedom cards in it. And I got Resistance GB on the back of my card as well.
Oh, yay! Yay, we're on there! Oh, thank you.
You're going viral.
Oh, beautiful, thank you.
So yeah, check out Resistance GB. Definitely, awesome. Are you on Odyssey?
We are on Odyssey as well.
Check out Odyssey.
It's not the original, this is a new version.
Yeah, it's kind of new. It's been adapted a lot because the police confiscated 2 of my placards with Love and Freedom on it over the years.
Where are they? Are they in a police cell or something?
I think Exhibit A. Exhibit A, I think it is. Somewhere anyway.
Hello!
Hey. But you can find me on BitChute, Rumble and Odyssey. No longer YouTube because they shadow banned me.
And that's tntradio.live.
Yes, indeed, yes. Do promotion from them as well. And I've got t-shirts, which I'll try and show you. Also got a t-shirt there with this on as well.
Oh,
Look
beautiful.
at that.
Oh, pretty crazy.
Check out the merchandise. There we go. Awesome, guys.
So do you think the police didn't have enough love and freedom if they stole your placards?
I don't think so at all. I think they're idiots, really. The younger police are very misguided and they're trying to impress their senior colleagues. And the senior colleagues bully them, so they bully downwards, and then the junior officers then bully us. It's very sad at times, really, but we're going to keep going because we're not going to get affected by bullies. Including yourself as well, Wills. I know you've been through a lot yourself, but you're still here today, so respect to you. Respect to you both, definitely.
Well, what are some of the main things that you sort of come out here to protest today? What are some of the main focuses for you right now?
So basically, I'm here today because I'm a mental health worker of 20 years. I'm seeing the impacts, the lockdowns, the jab news and the mask mandates in the past have had effects on my service users. I had a gentleman in lockdown who was blind, registered blind, and he couldn't get out of his house because he lived on his own and he was blind. So I ignored the lockdown rules to go and shop for him. So the man had food in his house. And then later on, I hate to say it, but he died shortly after having a jab of a heart attack. So this affects me a lot. I'm doing this for the mentally ill adults in the world and children. Children have been really badly affected by this, and we need to be looking into the way lockdowns affect kids, really.
And are you worried about, a lot of people have been talking about ULEZ today, are you worried about how that's going to confine some older people to their homes, people who can't afford to buy new cars?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, ULEZ is very discriminatory, really. It's going to benefit those who can afford these new cars, electric vehicles or very modern vehicles. People are being pushed into using electric vehicles, and older generations can't afford them. In fact, younger generations can't afford them. Why aren't the younger generations unhappy about this? You know? And also electric vehicles aren't secure, they're very dangerous, and it's a very slippery slippery slope to controlling where we go and where we go within the boundaries, really.
What do you think about these naughty people taking down all the cameras?
Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, but I think they use this like kind of foam which they spray onto the camera, and they actually bring along screwdrivers to undo the cameras, the ULEZ cameras. And it's very widely happening all across the UK, really, not just in London, and it's very effective as well. So Sorry guys, hate to get involved, but keep doing what you're doing because this is all social tyranny. They're trying to bring in these 15-minute cities, which will affect all of us, including you guys with the posh cars, because they're going to come for you as well.
Beautiful. Anything else you want to say? What do you say to people sitting at home thinking of coming out to one of these?
Well, basically people say to me sometimes demonstrations don't work. They do work because the demonstrations are what stopped us staying in lockdown in 2021, including the NHS 5,000 who were throwing their uniforms over Downing Streets. It was that incident that day which actually arguably stopped the jab mandate on healthcare workers. Demonstrations do work, so everybody you at home watching this, if you can, get out there, get on the streets, even in your local towns, villages, cities, whatever, just do it. Because the more of us are out there, the more the public will know there's something going on and the more they'll question things. So yeah. Awesome, thank you very much.
Hello.
Bless you. Hello, how are you?
Oh, it's been so long. Yeah, let's go. Hello? Me? I've been building parallel society.
I see it. We wonder what happened to you. Like, what's happened to you?
Didn't Eleanor say that where I've been? No. Oh, water. Lovely. Will you grab this for a second? Sorry. I think we might run down. Oh yeah. Can I possibly have some?
Hey, that's that guy who sings from Scotland.
Worldwide rally in London. I am now near the back of the pack. As you can see, there are tens of thousands of people. You cannot even see the front.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got everyone's favourite freedom bro here. Alright man, how's it going? Long time no see, it's good to have you over here.
Brother, you know I wouldn't miss it.
Mate, did you just get here? You're just running to catch up? You've been training?
Yes, every day. How are you?
Chris, may I ask what are your plans whilst you're over here?
Well, I was in Manchester, I was in Liverpool, I'm in London today, I'm in Oxford on Monday filming a documentary on the 15-minute cities. I'm going to be in Leeds on the 29th, I'm back here on the 30th and 1st. I'm going to be in Cornwall, Camelot Castle, 2nd and 3rd, off to the Netherlands after that, then off to Mexico, back to Canada, and off to Australia. So we got a lot of traveling still to come.
And you were saying before, you said the next thing that they're coming at us with is the climate lockdowns.
Yeah.
What's their agenda?
Well, before the climate lockdowns, they got to bet us back on COVID lockdowns. So they're going to try to scare us back into submission by going after the kids at school. You saw the closures at the London schools, that was all planned. They did the same thing in Canada, same thing in the US. The idea is they're going to plant something in the schools that's going to cause the kids to get sick when they bring them back. And they know if we see kids getting sick and ending up in the hospital, we'll put the mask back on. The moment we put the mask back on, all the other restrictions will come back instantaneously.
And at the same time with the COVID lockdowns, they'll be pushing through all the climate change shit. And when we're worried about mandates, mass restrictions, jabs, our jobs, our houses, our families, we're not going to be able to fight back against the climate change agenda. That's what their plan is. But it's not going to work because we're all aware, and that's why I'm on this world tour, to not unite millions of people. This time we're going to unite billions of people around the world at the same time. And when these globalists try to attack each country on their own, every country's going to stand up and fight back together.
And what word do people need to say?
Just say no. And when we get enough people saying no around the world, we can come together in united non-compliance. And then we can move into phase 3, holding these people accountable. And this shit will never happen again.
And where can people find you again, Chris?
RealChrisSky.com, on Instagram, ChrisSky83. My cell phone number, +1 416 400 9994. Because I'm real and I ain't afraid of nobody. Cheers.
All the best, Chris.
I love you, brother.
Good work that you're doing.
See you again.
Lovely seeing you
I
again.
want to show everybody how many people are here.
You're just like, oh, I've got my friend. Oh wait, Chris, I'm going to grab Chris. He's moving faster than the friends. Did you construct this yourself?
Yeah, so I had a spare pair of hands for this.
If you're handy, then I heard there's a few cameras that need to go down.
Oh, I don't do things like that.
Remember me?
Yes, I do. How are you doing?
I'm okay, my love. How are you?
Oh, good. Good. It's nice to be back out at process. I've not been to one in ages.
Well, anyway.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to roll back to the threads and then I'm going to go back forwards. Do you want to come back with me? Will you hold this whilst we go back so I can roll a thing?
Well, don't smoke in people's faces. Wait until you've got some quiet.
Then we'll just chill at the back for a little bit. All right? So we're right at the back, weren't they?
Come on, you love it.
Hello!
How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm still like you. Nice to see you.
Not too bad, not too bad.
We're still all here.
We're trying to find the threads.
The threads, they were, there they are. Look. Isn't that one of them with the shirt?
Here we are united, together we are mighty. Hey, how's it going? Hey!
How you doing, man?
Look, that's that thing that scares you from the Bible.
Oh yeah, the bloody, what's that? I can't remember which one that is.
You live streaming at the moment?
I am live streaming. Got the camera on?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Are you shouting yourself out?
Hey, everyone! Come and check out my channel, Newsfist, on Rumble.
This is the guy who's spamming our Telegram.
Yeah, that's right. I am the guy who's spamming the Telegram. Yeah.
It's good, you should actually watch it.
yeah. So I've heard. I don't say that. Other people say it's pretty good, you know.
And what do you think of the protest here today?
Pretty good turnout. I mean, you know, there's definitely a danger that a bunch of people might write a stiff letter to the government, and you know, then wow, I mean, they'd be forced to, I don't know, change course or something. I mean, you know, clearly a pretty severe threat. No, it's not. It's a good day. You know.
And what do you think about people taking down the cameras?
Oh, I think it's freaking awesome. I honestly, it's like a massive white pill. I really was not sure the point at which the population would start really pushing back, but it seems like that point has been very seriously reached. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And do you want to see more do you want to see fewer cameras?
Of course I want to see fewer cameras, but of course I'm not advocating for any kind of illegal activity. That would be, you know, bad and wrong and against many, many terms of services. But, you know, I think, look,
when the BLM protests broke out, right, there was a lot of illegal behavior. And we were told that, you know, yes, this behavior is illegal, but we really have to look at the context of these people being driven to action, you know, by the intolerable circumstances that they are under. And I think the same argument should be made in terms of ULEZ. Yes, these may be illegal actions, but we really must consider the systemic pressures that people are under and, you know, sort of look not exactly favourably, but understandingly on such action.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
And what issues do you see as the main issues being presented right now for this protest?
Central bank digital currency, increasing surveillance, carbon tracking, just everything. The expansion of the surveillance state to the point where you literally won't even be able to go to the toilet and take a piss without asking yourself, what does the government think about what I'm about to do? And I oppose that, absolutely, as does everyone here, I imagine. Yeah. Stay out of our bathrooms, government. God damn it.
Yeah. Make sure you don't take your phone into the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Never take your phone into the toilet with you.
Google is watching you on the toilet. You know, yeah.
So guys, you can find this absolute nutter at Newsfist on Odyssey.
Newsfist.net. Check it out.
I'll catch you in a bit, Chris.
See you later, man.
Right. Let's go and... What? Yeah, I know. I'm going to go and grab the threads. Hello. Good to see you guys again. I've got to thank you for that wonderful interview. I know we released it a bit late from Hope last year.
Pleasure.
And what's brought you out today? Do you want to talk about some of the things you're fighting against?
We're not actually physically fighting against anything. We're just supporting the endless onslaught on the civil liberties and people's freedom of movement and a corrupt government and a corrupt man. That's pretty much it, really.
And what do you think needs to happen with Sadiq Khan?
Well, ideally, he just... I think we need an election. Yeah. He seems to be going full tilt, doesn't he? The idea that you can somehow pay your way out of pollution, although I don't buy the pollution thing in the first place, but it's just bizarre. So I think he needs to be elected. He needs to be unelected, deselected, whatever you want to call it, as soon as possible.
The thing with pollution, have you ever looked into the Reformation with the Catholic Church? They have these indulgences. You pay the indulgence.
That's right, you did, yeah. You can pay for absolution, all sorts of things.
Yeah, it was only Martin Luther who blew the cap on the indulgences. That's what ended it, really. Some priests back at the time were making a fortune out of it.
So they
didn't want to stop. But what is happening now has been going on for thousands of years. Some very, very powerful people with money and connections have decided that they know better than all these folks. And I would put my trust in the ordinary folks of this country than any idiot in the House of Commons or in the courts or in the police or anywhere else. I think we could probably throw a stone in this country and find a more effective Prime Minister and leader of the opposition. It would be that easy because they are both utterly useless. And we also sadly have a king now who's up to his nipples in the WEF. I mean, I think they're all disgraceful. I mean, Mick Jagger, the King, they're all horrible. They're all horrible people who are disconnected from the people that put them there in the first place.
Well, we've got a 50% track record of cutting off the heads of King's School Charles.
Yes.
So does that give you some hope?
Well, I think it's interesting. I live in Windsor, and there are more pictures of the Queen in Windsor. There are no pictures of him. And pictures of the Queen in all sorts of shops. I think she's held in a much higher regard than he will ever be. For whatever, whether I don't know what the reason for that would be, I personally think it's because she just did the job and got along with it. But if I was her, I would be saddened by the son that I've spawned. I think he'll never speak for the people of this country.
And do you think it's the same as when we kicked out our kings before, when we kicked out Charles I, when we didn't want to have this?
Well, I mean, the trouble with, the thing is, I'm not a Republican. I just don't like King Charles.
I view myself as a monarchist. I just don't like this monarch.
Exactly. let's look at the possibility of an elected president, so no hereditary monarch. The problem is, who do you have? So, we'd be stuck with some cretin like Blair. So although I don't have any time for King Charles, the hereditary principle releases us ultimately of that ghastly prospect of have some horrible politician or opinion former or whatever as president of the nation. I don't think that would be a happy place to be at all. So we just have to put up with it until the day comes when we get somebody new. Having said that, I'm not overly confident about Prince William either.
I sort of think the principle within it is that you can kick them out if they go too far. Because when we had kings who were pledging loyalty to the Catholic Church, we said, okay, off you go, we'll put in another member of the family.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I don't think there's an appetite for that over here now. I don't think so. I think people are much more patient and we'll just put up with it until somebody else comes along. But what I think is happening now, there's a huge gap now between the people at the top, people like King Charles and Jagger and Schwab and all these ghastly people, and ordinary folk, ordinary people who just want to be left alone, pay their taxes and work. That's what they want to do. They don't really want to be lectured at by these multi-millionaire pop stars and politicians. They just want to be left alone. Now that's the thing with ULEZ. It's just another way of creaming money off ordinary people. And it's, like my brother said earlier, you can pollute the country as much as you like, provided you pay for it. That's what it is. It's just money. It's just money. And Khan is a disgrace. He's killing London. So the sooner he goes, the better.
And what's your advice to ordinary people who are watching? Do you think they should take a step to come out here, or do you think they should pick up a guitar and make some music?
I'd pick up a guitar, make some music, feet on the street. Don't comply. If you don't want to you don't have to make a noise. I don't understand the whistles and the horns and all that stuff. I don't understand that. You don't have to make a noise, but you do have to be true to yourself and think for yourself. Don't rely on people like Matt Hancock or whoever to tell you what to do, tell you what to think, where to stand, It's rubbish. You can do that yourself. You can do it all yourself. And we need to, we just need to rediscover our ability to think for ourselves. I think many people have lost it. I do, really.
And hopefully pass it on to the next generation like they're doing down at home.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. I think it's really, really crucial. It's if you go right down the rabbit hole, you can argue about the education system teaches you to obey rather than to think. Blah blah blah. I'd have a whole conference about that. But generally speaking, I think politicians need to get off our backs, and politicians need to. They're like bouncers in clubs. Unless they're doing something, they feel they're not earning their money, so they pester people the whole time instead of just shutting up and letting us get on with it. That's my thing. I just don't want to be pestered by these idiots. And London is I grew up, and we both came to London many years ago, and it was a very entrepreneurial and open-minded city. There were lots of problems. There was a lot of corruption in the police at the time, in the 60s particularly. But it was an exciting place to be. And the minute we have people like Khan putting their foot on everybody's neck, both financially and culturally, it kills it. It's a great city. It's losing its place in that big table.
Well, can I end by asking you, can I mention how great your new song, fairly new song is, Spiritual War?
Spiritual War, yes. And I'd like to thank Bob Moran too, who did the artwork. Yeah.
And are you doing a new tour at the moment?
Well, we're in conversation with an agent in Germany, so we're looking at quite a few gigs next year in Europe. And there's a film we've been working on that looks like it might start to go. So there's a few things in the pipeline, but if you want to work, you have to pace yourself a little bit. It would be very easy to go down the rabbit hole of this and never work again. So we have to draw a balance between how visible we are and our ability to work.
Well, you last time I interviewed you, you listed off. You lost the movie. You lost all of your touring.
That's true, yeah.
They took everything away from you.
Yep. It's coming back slowly.
Yeah, not over here.
Not over here. And over here's a nightmare. But
Europe and abroad is still.
Yeah. Still, and the movie is. I thought it was out, gone and finished, but we had a few emails last week that made me think, well, maybe this is it's beginning to come round. It really is. So I think, people are beginning to think that they've been played. I think a lot of people are beginning to feel that. Not just the vaccine or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a chemist, so I can't speak about the vaccine, but I can speak about freedom of choice. I can. That I can talk. We can both talk about that. So we're independent musicians, so we intend to stay independent.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, and thank you for all your sacrifice. Hello there. Ah, long time no see.
Guess what's happened now?
What's happened?
My mum's had open heart surgery. So my sister had the stroke 2 years ago. It's the vaccine. She had it 4 weeks ago. Aortic valve replacement and a bypass. And they all know now the doctors are totally different 2 years on.
Seriously?
They look guilty. They won't say yes, but they can't give any other explanation. And they just look really guilty. Totally different to when I asked them 2 years ago about my sister. Nothing wrong with her. And now on death's door, they said if I hadn't said it regularly, she would have died on the sofa and cardiac arrest. He said, I'm telling you now, my sister's partner is okay. He was now dead. Girlfriend always does the next thing.
Okay, we're rolling again. Sorry about that, guys. Bit of a patchy signal going down here. Laura, you got all your stationery and stuff in there? Do you have any tape? No tape? String?
No, I gave it to you.
You're a power lead. USB to USB-C. Phone charger lead. Been shafted by this charger. It's not got a USB-C port. My one's the same length. Can you hold this? I need to see. Sorry guys, just trying to secure something on the camera. Absolute pain in the ass. Alright. This is a little bit better. I really need some damn electrical tape. I'm always carrying electrical tape. And today is the day that I don't have any electrical tape. I'm sorry. Who do we have here today? Hello.
Yeah, lovely
Not
to
too
see you.
bad, it's good to be back.
We've got Resistance TV here. Welcome. I just got here. Yeah.
Oh, you protested the last time we saw
Sorry?
you out. That protested the last time we saw you out.
Yeah, I know the ULEZ one in the summer. I remember. How's it been though?
No, it was the tranny one we.
Yeah, we went to. I went to that one too. I remember you got pissed. I was just there partially.
Were they okay with you afterwards? Were they okay with you?
Yeah, I didn't even engage. I just walked off. I pretend like nothing happened. But I didn't
touch
even
you up,
say
did
anything.
they?
Yeah. How many people reckon are here today? Probably about
few thousand.
3,000. Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
Where's it heading to? Downing Street.
I have no clue. I never have a clue. I just turn up at the start, usually late, and then I run along. You know,
I'm just getting a cloud size right now, so.
Oh, cool. You know, Right Safe Friends? Yeah, so I'm sure you can find them. Two of them. They're somewhere near the back. One of them's got a checkered shirt. Red checkered shirt. Look out.
That's amazing. Yeah, definitely. I'll catch you in a bit now.
Would you vaccinate your children or you're mad? Would you vaccinate your children or you're mad? Would you vaccinate your children? Vaccinate your children. Vaccinate your children or you're mad.
Hold it, it doesn't go.
We are the 99%. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 90. Together we are mighty. We are 99%. God, I'd rather be a human than a slave. Yeah, I'd rather be a human than a slave. Yeah, I'd rather be a human. Rather be a human. Rather be a human than a slave. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 90. Together we are mighty. We are 99%. And you can stick a great race out your ass. You can stick a great race out your ass. You can stick a great race. Stick a great race. Stick a great race up your ass. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 90. Together we are mighty. We are 99%. And you can stick a fucking ULEZ up your ass. You can stick a fucking ULEZ up your ass. Yeah, just stick your fucking ULEZ. Stick your fucking ULEZ. Stick your fucking ULEZ up your ass. Sing it, we are 99%. Sing it, we are 99%. Sing it, we are 90. Together we are mighty. We are the 99%. God, I'd rather be a human than a slave. Yeah, I'd rather be a human than a slave. Yeah, I'd rather be a human. Rather be a human. Rather be a human than a slave. Singing we are the 99%. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 90. Together we are mighty. We are 99%. Singing we are 99%. Singing we are 99%. Woo!
Lady, she's speaking. Okay. Right, back to multitasking. So you want to talk about pain, sort of alternative medication?
Definitely, natural healing, which is in your body already. Your body's a self-healing system. You know, we're brainwashed into thinking that you have to take medication, you have to have operations, and you really don't. And I've been proving it for 23 years now. I'm the founder and creator of the pain-free method, and I teach people how to be pain-free. I mean, I've got, if people know how to self-heal, they can let go of trying to get an appointment with a doctor. I mean, I'm not saying get rid of the doctors and NHS at all. I think there's a place for everybody. But if people are not being successful with meds or operations or that route, there are other ways. There's a natural route within yourself. And that's what I teach. It's extremely effective. And you know, if you know how to self-heal, you can, middle of the night, when you're in a dreadful state, you know what to do. That's incredibly empowering. And that's what that's the vision I'm trying to, sharing with people.
Well, I know there have been quite a few studies on stress and how that affects people's general health. So stress can affect all of your health, can't it?
Absolutely. It's all part and parcel. You know, how you feel in your what's happening in your body physically, what's happening emotionally, stress, or what's happening around you, what you feel about the world at large. That all has an impact. It all works together. I mean, I work with people who have physical conditions, and I've been really successful. So I had a nurse who came to me with painful feet for 9 months, and she was on pain meds and things, and within 10 minutes she had a turnaround. Within 10 minutes, a lady who was full body arthritis, in 4 to 6 weeks she was completely pain-free. You know, so when you do the correct actions, is what I teach, and when people know it's a real thing, and I have a free guide online to get started.
And what are your methods? Do you talk to people and try and get them in the right frame of mind?
Yeah, it's talking. It's a thing you do for yourself, and it's practical, simple actions. I call it the first keys, I call it the first 4 key healing actions, and they shift things. They shift difficult emotions, physical conditions, smoking. If you want, nothing can go past you if you don't want something. But if you want to change something that you're struggling with, it's completely possible, and it's very simple. And doing the right actions, it starts working straight away. I've been proving it for 23 years, so
beautiful.
Yeah, it's
well, where can people check you out? Because you had a leaflet. I presume you got some more.
So I'm Althea Finch, and from the Pain-Free Method, and you can find me on painfreedom.co.uk, and it's a free guide to get started if you want to find out more, have a chat to me, and see how you can get rid of your chronic long-term condition, back pain, arthritis, anything. You know, come and have a chat and find out more about it, and stop struggling, stop suffering.
And can I ask a little bit about this sign that you've got here?
Absolutely. So this is against ULEZ. Sadiq Khan's ULEZ, lovely ULEZ he wants to pull out, but that's just the beginning. It means that he wants people to pay £12.50 every day that you use your non-compliant car. So what's happening? My neighbours and friends, they're getting rid of their cars. They are not going to see their loved ones because they can't. They're not going to certain areas, they're staying in. I think it's really dangerous, and I think that this is just the start, because they're doing paper mile, he's trying to push it, and so many more things, but you know, trying to fight this and bring awareness, because a lot of people don't even know.
And how do you think this affects people? Because I was talking to a mental health nurse who was talking about how it affects people mental health, being trapped in the house.
I think it's dreadful. I mean, I've spoken to people that they said that before all the COVID thing, even that we had all these restrictions, and she said exactly the same. That she was an outgoing person, but after all COVID, she's more anxious. And I'm actually on a mental health discussion panel on Tuesday evening. That people go to my website and might like to take part in that and share people's views about mental health on what's going on in the pandemic or mental health generally. But I think it's dreadful. It's they call it a psyop, isn't it? It's bullying tactics. It's trickle to take away your rights, to change the way you're thinking, to detach you from friends and relations because they don't agree with you or have never heard of what you're talking about, ULEZ or whatever. And I think it's really dangerous. People were sent to suicide, wasn't it? Suicide rate went sky high. It's terribly sad.
And
it's awful.
Do you think it's trying to get us to sort of stay on our patch like the peasants in medieval times?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. But we've got to fight it, right?
Yeah.
Say no. Just say no.
Well, Chris Sky is here. We've got the man for it.
I know, wonderful. I'm looking forward to talking to him. Watch his, he's going to do a speech, is he?
I hope so.
I hope so. Lovely, Wilson.
I'll catch you soon. Hello, so ladies and gents in the chat. We have a big crowd here today, and we are now approaching Trafalgar Square.
Right, how much battery have I got left?
Oh, GoPro's out of battery. Right, I think we're going to get down towards the front. I'm going to need to change the battery on the GoPro at some point. Oh, walking down this stretch is giving me flashbacks to that tranny demonstration. That I got trapped here for about over half an hour. I got trapped here. It was horrible. Thank you, Davina's King. Oh, not too bad. Can you do me a favour? Could you just hold this for a second? Sure. Oh my god, lifesaver. I brought out one that was USB-C to USB-C. Is this wrong? So I can put it in my pocket. Oh, right. And I realised this doesn't have a USB-C on it, so
I'm movie playing in Hollywood next Friday. I've actually had it converted to a DCP digital cinema package. So it's basically 35mm for digital. So it's the next Friday. It's on at the oldest cinema theatre. I'm in the Hollywood International Film Festival. So
congratulations. Give me 2 seconds, I need to change the battery on this, and then I'll turn the camera around.
Take your time, take your time.
let's change the battery. Then we can keep rolling. Yep. So that comes on. This away. Is it coming on? Should be fully charged.
Sometimes you have to research it.
There we go, it's coming on, it's coming on. Wonderful. Full battery, lovely. Right, let's quick start it.
Oh yeah, nice to see you.
Okay, right, let's... Is it okay if I jump to this one?
Yeah, you go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry guys. My name is Bridgen. Right, let's get to the front of this.
People die! Well done, guys, keep going!
Like we've got another protest going on. It looks like we have a Remain protest right in front of the Freedom protest. Uh-oh. We've got a clash of protests here. What's happening? How's this going to turn out? I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
It's been well organised, hasn't it?
Yep.
Perfect. And if this march hadn't have been delayed, it'd have gone bang like a T.
Yeah.
Division bell. It's never stopped ringing, has it?
What are the main things bringing you out today?
Everything really, mate. 2,000 years of bullshit. Fucking division. Everyone needs to stand together. Same old shit over and over again. Same old play. Same old rubbish. Do you know what I mean? We need to stand together, find unity, and then we'll all be at peace in the entire world.
A lot of people are talking about ULEZ and the 15-minute cities.
Yeah, but I think it's a much bigger picture than that. That's happening globally, and we look at the World Economic Forum, they're all in there globally, they've all got their shields in place. We've got them in the British Houses of Parliament, they're everywhere in France, Spain, Portugal, all over Europe. They're all in the same boat, all pushing the same agenda, same bullshit for complete control over people. Exactly, complete control. That's all it is. That's all it boils down to, really.
And what do people need to do?
The people need to stand up, fucking re-educate themselves from that bullshit they got taught at school. Do you know what I mean? Where that division bell first starts. So you need to wake yourself up a little bit. You know what I mean? Look at things in a different light. You're a beautiful person. We're all beautiful human beings. Been here, put here on this planet to live this life, and we're just conditioned all the time. And it's 2,000 years old. You know what I mean? You look at the flags. Look at this lot with their flags. Look at it. Rejoin what? Another mafia. As soon as people start to fucking wake up, they're better.
And so, can I ask, what do you think about the EU?
I think the EU is just another gangster-run IMF International Monetary Fund organisation, complete control again, and it's been going on for years. And people don't realise it. The same as the UK, we're governed by the International Monetary Fund. So this is a Rothschild fucking banking corporation that goes back centuries. And if you've checked them out, you'll see that most wars and most conflicts and most division comes from these people. It's very, very old. It's very, very. Look around you. It's Roman. Everything around you.
And
It's all Roman.
you were talking a little bit about the state schools and the indoctrination that goes
Well,
on.
that's a Marxist. It's a Marxist agenda that's been 200 years old. It's 200 years old. It's a Marxist agenda. Wants to put you all into divisions, into categories. This. Before you go to school, you're beautiful. You love life. You jump around. You look at the fucking flowers. You look at the earth. You look at the sky. You look at the clouds, and you love it. It's beautiful. It's magical. And then you go to school, and then you're taught a load of fucking bullshit, memorised over and over again. And this is where we end up. This is exactly where we end up.
And are you proud that protesters have come out against the system?
Of course, mate, yeah.
Rather
Everyone
than
needs to get
being...
out. I'm a little bit shocked there's not 50 fucking or 60 million people here today. Do you know what I mean? Because of what's going on. And everyone lives in Alice in Wonderland, talking about conspiracy theories and everything. They need to wake up. Do you know what I mean? They're living in... They're the conspiracy theorists. If you believe government and media and news, you're the conspiracy theorist. Not no one else who chooses to... or an alternative news or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
thank you very much, man.
Good luck. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Stay free.
Yeah, and don't
I shouldn't say that, should I? Russell, isn't it?
All the best.
Stuck a stick on there in the coffee shop.
What have we got here? It seems that they paused the protest because they don't want to bump into the normies.
Let me breathe, man. I want to breathe. I live in London. I got a car, and I don't mind ULEZ at all. I want to breathe.
You want to be told what to do?
I want to breathe.
Do you have trouble
I
breathing?
think there are a lot of people who need to be told what to do because they don't give a shit about anybody but themselves.
Is that the policy of the EU?
No, that's the policy of anti-ULEZ people.
That they want to have the choice of how to live their lives?
No, they don't want to have a choice. They only want to have their choice. Fuck their children. Fuck the people who are dying on the South Circular. No, thank you. Go Khan.
You like Sadiq
Go
Khan?
Khan.
Absolutely.
And how?
What about all of the people who have been trapped in their homes, elderly people who can't afford to have a new car, who are
I'm an
trapped in their
elderly
homes?
person. I'm not stuck in my home.
Oh, I don't know what your wealth is,
took
sir.
a bus.
I don't know how much money you've got.
I
There are lots
took
of
a
poor
bus
elderly
and I
people.
used my Freedom Pass, which didn't cost me anything, because I took a bus. And you know something? Freedom Pass is up by the London government.
A lot of elderly people are disabled though, and they can't necessarily take public transport.
They can have help. In a proper society with a proper government, unlike the one we have now, people in wheelchairs would have proper support to get on public transport. Okay, they wouldn't need diesel cars.
But some people, they don't have a choice. They need to have a car.
Well, they don't have a choice because of the people we've had in power for 13 years. That's why they don't have a choice. Not because of Sadiq Khan. At least now their grandchildren have a choice to live.
What about poor people?
What about poor people?
People who can't afford the transport.
Poor people live on the South Circular. They're the ones who die.
But you find most of the people who are protesting are people who live in outer London who have
Yes, I can
cars
see
and
the
don't
people
have
who are
access to
protesting.
transport.
I see the people who are protesting. They all have cars.
Working class people.
They have cars.
Working class
I
people.
have a car. I'm not protesting.
So you like Sadiq Khan?
Absolutely.
And you don't want to. You want to be told what to do, and you
I
think
don't
these
want to be
people.
told what to do.
And you said fuck their
I
children.
sure don't want to be told what to do by a minority of people who voted for Brexit.
It was a majority though.
No, it
wasn't
wasn't a minority of the electorate. It was only a majority of the people who turned out to vote. The electorate. It was more than 60% of the electorate.
But they
did
even
not.
let foreigners vote in our election,
something
and
like that.
Leave
You put
still
down-
won, didn't it?
No, nothing won. Nothing won. We lost. Look at it.
So
look at what we got.
I take it you don't believe in democracy then?
That's not democracy. When the minority of people decide on something, that is not democracy in my opinion. Okay.
So what are you going to do? You're going to force everyone to vote?
No, I'm
Mandatory
going to support the people who want us to rejoin, and the people who want us to breathe. Fuck ULEZ. Not fuck ULEZ. Yay ULEZ. Bollocks to Brexit! Bollocks to Brexit!
Do you like being enslaved, sir?
Like, enslaved by what?
Do you like a foreign country telling you how to live your life?
Bollocks to Brexit. Simple as that.
Can you speak for yourself?
I'm speaking for a lot of people,
Do
actually.
you like being enslaved, sir?
70% of the country.
For 57% of the country when we say we want to rejoin the European
I think you speak for 48% of the country, including people who shouldn't have been voting in the election because they weren't even UK citizens, surely?
I disagree with you strongly on that.
Well, I mean, we did have the actual plebiscite, we did have the actual vote, and you guys lost.
Since the vote.
Stay outside Europe and see how long the economy lasts.
We're in Europe. Europe's a continent. It's not a political organisation.
It should be a political union, though. That's what we're campaigning for.
Why?
We're being cut out of it.
We don't believe in, the origin of the European Union is, a peaceful Europe since World War II.
What, you mean all of the ex-Nazis who set it up? All of the people. It was Nazis. It was Nazis.
Absolutely not ex-Nazis who set it up.
You really like being told what to do by the Germans because my ancestors, they fought, two world wars to
we
stop
had
that.
we had an equal stake in Europe, proportionate to our own population. We weren't being told what to do. Exactly.
Okay, then why did Malta have extra votes? Because it's not done by population, the number of people in the country. It's not done by population.
Well,
so surely you know that. Voting in the EU Parliament, you don't get that. Also, Council of Ministers, right? I think every country gets a minister in the Council of Ministers. So again, tiny countries like Malta overrepresented. What do you think about that? Because you're not actually talking about democracy there, are you? Because you just said 57%. Which
How is that not democracy? Everybody getting a choice.
It's not everyone getting a choice.
But
It's
it is
some people getting more
choice
choice than others, isn't it?
Well, I mean, maybe over, but that's okay. That can be fixed. That can be fixed through reform. The system itself is not broken fundamentally.
Then how comes Britain's getting constantly outvoted? Would you rather have a 5% say in your own country and then a 5% say in everyone else's country, or would you rather have 100% say in your own country?
That's not what it is. Yeah, exactly.
Like sovereignty of Montenegro. Montenegro is exercising its sovereignty in joining freely the European Union. We're sovereign. We want to join the European Union.
But we don't want to join the EU.
Well, some of us do.
Well, we voted to leave. We voted to join the EEC. We never voted to join the EU, did we?
We joined the EC and it, with our support, evolved into the EC and the EU.
So you agree we voted to join a trading bloc?
And we voted to support its transition into the European Union.
Oh, no. That was the elites. We didn't have a referendum on that.
We're a parliamentary democracy. We never had a vote to drive on the left.
Okay, but then this country voted to leave the EU, and then the Parliament then voted to leave the EU. So surely then, if we're a parliamentary democracy and we had our referendum, you should respect that.
And we are out of the EU, if you've noticed. But we are a sovereign country, and some of us have a perfectly legitimate aspiration to join the EU, like Montenegro.
So explain to me, why would you want 5% say in this country and then 5% say in other countries you don't live in, rather than 100% say in your own country?
I used to live in Massachusetts. It voted to join an American Union. It's worked out quite well for it. We voted to join the European Commission, the European Union, the EEC, and that worked out pretty well for us.
And they've stolen our money, stolen the money of people in this country.
Who?
And they impose a load of diktats and regulations upon us. British people.
British people stole a lot of money from them. Go to the court. What do you mean they stole money?
They put their courts above our courts, surely.
How about the European Court of Human Rights, which we put up? How about NATO?
The ECHR is under the Council of Europe. You know that. You know the ECHR is under the Council of Europe, and also
but that's a higher court than us.
Also,
do you want us to join NATO? Leave NATO?
Yes, hell yeah. NATO is an aggressive, warmongering coalition that the idea of it was it's a defensive alliance to prevent war, and that seemed like a lovely idea. I was generally, without going too into it, without looking too much, I thought, okay, NATO sounds like a lovely idea. But what happened when we got invaded by the Argentines? Did NATO help out? No, they did sod all. And now, what are they doing? Creating a war in the Ukraine? Come on. How many people are they putting into a meat grinder? These are human lives being destroyed. Of course I want to be out of NATO. I'd love for my country to freely trade with the whole world, okay? And then beyond that, just run itself, be peaceful, not get involved in all of these political conflicts and wars, because that is a massive imposition.
NATO, argue is a bigger threat to our sovereignty than the EU, in that we've got troops under it and it can make decisions on war and peace.
And they're creating an EU joint command, aren't they? So they're doing the exact same thing. They're creating their own army. You've actually had British troops wearing an EU flag on their arm.
Not at the moment.
You have had that. You have had that. So that's what you're actually going for. So you've just come out, and good sense on you. You don't like NATO.
No, I do like NATO.
You do like NATO.
I do like NATO, but it's a bigger infringement on our sovereignty. There aren't very many.
So you see that there's an issue with NATO. How do you not see there's an issue with the EU?
There's an issue with NATO if you're absolutely passionate about being sovereign, like say North Korea or somewhere. So.
North Korea, the people don't have a say. In the EU, the people don't have a say. The EU Parliament doesn't even have any real power.
You want to have a look at that?
They can't even propose legislation.
They can pass budgets.
They are a rubber stamp.
They're not a rubber stamp. You can't say part of our problems is that EU law gets in our way, and then the stuff that the EU Parliament passes isn't real.
Why should I obey laws that foreigners are trying to impose on me?
Massachusetts obeys federal laws.
Pardon?
Massachusetts observes federal laws. It's the same setup.
No, because you had a bunch of English colonies full of Englishmen get together and say we're going to make a greater England. These are English people.
Not English.
Yeah, but if you look at all of the entreaties to, I believe was it George III? Can you correct me?
George III.
Yeah. All of the entreaties saying we are loyal Englishmen. All of those were saying that we were Englishmen. They were Englishmen. Saying the Americans were Englishmen. As Englishmen, we want our right to vote, no taxation without representation. That is what they said. As Englishmen, they wanted their right as Englishmen. So these are English colonies.
Not all, but the ones that joined in later, like Louisiana, weren't English colonies.
Yes, but those were bought. They bought those off the French.
No, not when it joined.
More or less.
No, there was about 40 years in between.
Yeah, and anyway, you had a bunch of English people living there anyway.
When someone like Oklahoma, they had to wait for enough English people to get a majority before they voted.
Yeah, that sounds like a better situation. Anyway, I'm sorry, I need to head off and get back to the real protest.
Good luck.
So all the best to you, and enjoy your slavery. Sorry, I did waste a bit of time there. I know I shouldn't have, but... Right. What else is that?
Come on! Not be so
Yeah, let's get back to the real protest. Oh wait, it's merged straight into the protest. Oh, wait a second. Mr. Bridgen, it's good to see you. Pleasure to see you again.
Good to see you.
How's it being out here? Is it okay if I interview you?
Yes, I'm sure it is.
How's it being out here?
Well, it's great company, it's the sun shining, and it's good for morale, so what's not to like?
And what are the main causes that you, as one of the protesters or maybe one of the speakers, are coming out here today to fight against?
Well, our freedom's under threat as never before, and it's from all sides. So there are people here who object to the ULEZ and the low traffic neighbourhoods, the threat of 15-minute neighbourhoods. There's people here concerned about what's being taught in our schools to our children. There's people here about the vaccine harms and the mandates. It's a coalition of people with genuine concerns about the state of our democracy.
And do you feel that this is, right in front, we've got all of these EU people.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a bit of an AstroTurf protest versus this one?
I'm a big supporter of the right for peaceful protest. It's part of our democratic system, and of course, but obviously, as an MP who led the Leave campaign for the East Midlands, you wouldn't normally want to climb back onto a sinking ship, would you? I can't see why we want to rejoin the European Union. We decided to leave the European Union because it's undemocratic. It's not representative democracy. You've got faceless, unelected bureaucrats running your lives, and there's plenty of people here on the march I'm on who object to the WHO having the powers they're seeking. So,
and can I ask, as an MP, as one of the probably the only person here who gets to go inside Parliament, speak to other MPs and see what their mindset is. What is the mindset inside Parliament? Can you explain it to the people watching?
Well, we're supposed to speak in Parliament without fear or favour. There's a lot of fear and a lot of favour. A lot of what was done to me as a sort of punishment beating for speaking out, that was to scare the others, and it's worked. What I'd say to people is that the job of an MP surely is to represent the people against the interests of the government and the establishment. And what we appear to have now is a lot of MPs who are representing the government and the establishment against the people, and that's the opposite of what an MP should be all about. Our democracy at the moment is not really working for the people, and it needs to change.
And I know you can only say so much, but can you explain some of the things that happened to you as an MP? I know you can't say everything that's happened to you, unfortunately.
Listen, you know, when a senior spokesman for the party says to me in January about speaking out about the vaccine harms, that Andrew, there's currently no political appetite for your views on the vaccines. There may well be in 20 years' time, and you're probably going to be proved right. And in the meantime, you need to bear in mind that you're taking on the most powerful vested interest in the world, with all the personal risks for you that entails. There's something seriously wrong with our democracy, isn't there?
Do you believe that we actually live in a democracy now, or anymore?
Well, we could do, but it's not working for the people at the moment. You know, we need to, I think wasn't the phrase, take back control.
Yes.
Have a good day.
Yes. Oh, Mr. Bridgen, I should recommend you should come down to Hope Sussex to do a talk. It's a Freedom Community Centre down in Sussex.
Okay.
I would recommend you come down. You can check it out. Thank you so much for the interview. Hello.
Are you Chris?
I'm not Chris.
No.
No, are you looking for Chris Guy?
Yeah, but
he's much shorter than me, so he's sort of down here somewhere. Yeah. But he's also much more wedged than me. He's much stronger than me.
Can I ask you a question? I wrote on your Telegram a couple of weeks ago about the Armenian appeal thing, and I was basically begging one of you guys to come and film it on GB, you see, just to take an interest in it.
The Armenian genocide. Wait, are they doing a new genocide? Because that was the Turkish one, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a new genocide now. Literally, in the last week, there's been a mass bombing by Azerbaijan in the Nagorno-Karabakh region, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is because, because we don't really get much of a look in the news or mentioned at all.
Well, do you want to walk up with me and talk about it as we walk? I think we've got a few hundred people. We've almost got 500 people watching. So do you want to talk about it as we walk back up and find the protest?
Because the other reason...
Yep.
Yeah, because the other reason why it doesn't get mentioned is because back in our ancient history in Britain, technically the second migrants that came here were from Armenia, from the same place that's getting the hell bombed out of it. And so obviously the British, well, as you know, the British government at the moment is technically descendants of Anglo-Saxon, rather than the ancient Britons. So there is a sort of a hidden kind of situation where Armenia doesn't ever get mentioned, or even a look in or on the news or anything. But at the moment, basically, there's been they call it the Lachin border, where it's basically a connection between Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh. And already Azerbaijan has taken over so much of the land that is technically Armenia at the moment. And
because Armenia is Christian, isn't it?
What's that?
Armenia is predominantly Christian.
Predominantly Christian. That's another issue.
So you've got a lot of Muslims in the area, and they're trying to push out the Christians.
That's right. You see. Yeah. So I thought I just wanted to give a mention, and if you guys are around, tomorrow from 2:30, just down in front of 10 Downing Street. Oh, sorry, brother. 10 Downing Street, just to come with us, just to do a little demo, just to support us,
I don't think I can do that, but if there's anything else you want to mention, that you can ask people to come down on the stream if you like.
Honestly, come down, because there's a lot of history that's not being told, on a wider scale. Like our ancient history is all sort of mythologized. It's all kind of how should I put it? Yeah, it's all about myth and stuff, but there was an ancient first king of Britain, called Britain himself, or Brutus Latin, and originally they came from that place of Constantinople, which was Greater Armenia.
Are you referencing Geoffrey of Monmouth?
Yeah, Geoffrey of Monmouth. They say it's a myth, but it used to be the ancient, the true history of Britain.
Oh, we have a military protest going on. A lot of stuff's going on today. I have no clue what that was about. Right, looks like the main thing's up in Trafalgar Square. We're going to head back up to Trafalgar Square, guys. And we'll catch whatever's going on. Nice few interviews we had today. Right, so Fred, Andrew Bridgen, Chris Sky, the original Freedom Pro. I think they've set something up on Trafalgar Square. I think they've given up on those Remainers. A few people got confused. We've got people coming down, meeting up with the protests. It's all gone a bit haywire with all these events going on. I think the main crowd's back up here, and they'll probably just be setting up. Or they might have gone around a different way. Fiona pointed right. That's all I can say. Fiona pointed right. I was like, Fiona, which way? I never know which way they're going. I think that's the ultimate proof when people try and say, oh, resistance GP, they're organising. Well, how can I organise something if I don't know where I'm bloody going? If I'm running around getting lost, it'd be a little bit difficult for me to be organising the whole thing. I'm afraid it's Laura calling, but I'm having to use my personal phone to stream, so I can't pick up a call. I don't know where the hell everyone's gone. It kind of bumped down. I don't even know what's going on. Are they over here? What's going on? What's happening? Okay, we've got loads of people in Trafalgar Square. Are those tourists? Are those not tourists? Who knows? I think they're up there. Laura, if you're watching, come and find me and rescue me. I don't know where I am. Well, I do know where I am. I don't know where the hell I'm meant to go. That's a massive traffic jam. Are they down that way? I don't see any placards up there, apart from some foreign flags. But I'm going to go this way. So. Excuse me, did a big protest go past this way? Sorry? Did a protest go past this way? They're not this way. Yeah, because there's one protest and then there's a marching band, but there's another protest which has disappeared. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I might try back down there. Downing Street. They're at Downing Street. Okay, because they seem like, I thought they merged. I thought they stayed up. Okay, cool. Downing Street is. Thank you, Laura. Alright. Okay, now you got me running. Traditional RGB shaky cam. Not far now. Just coming up to Horse Guards Parade. Such a pain in the arse. Yeah, there are many protests. Right, okay, I found the right one. I found the actual non-astroturfed protest. Okay, there's Downing Street. No, wait, there's on Scott's Parade first. I thought this was shorter. Oh, what have we found here? We found an urchin. Off we go. All Scots Parade, ladies and gentlemen. They did? Oh, I should have got that. Never mind. I got so confused.
They got sort of mixed together.
Have they gone past Downing Street now? Okay. Okay. We're now approaching Downing Street. Yep. Oh, it's going straight past Downing Street. It looks like all of the protests are going to merge into one, which is going to be chaos. This is absolute chaos. Freedom versus tyranny. Apparently there's stuff going down. And there's a foreign protest over here.
Just in the last 5 minutes, you've seen 4 different protests. 3 months ago.
Okay, we found the right place. Alright. Oh man, I just went all the way back because I thought everyone went back because they got all mixed up. Look at them watching LBC. These are like their AstroTurf.
Brian, he's like the fucking side, isn't he?
Yeah. He's the tosser. There you go, cutting edge commentary.
Well, I don't like.
Excuse me, sir. Why do you like slavery? Why do you love your oppressors? Is it Stockholm syndrome?
Love our what? Oppressors, you're an idiot. So.
An idiot for wanting freedom.
Sorry?
Did your ancestors fight in the wars?
We are in Europe. We are European.
Of course, it's a continent.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to be a political union, does it?
No, but if you want to be poor, you can be out of it. If you don't love the rest of the EU, then that's fine.
Singapore's not in the EU, it's pretty rich.
Sorry?
We're not.
Yeah, but Singapore is more state controlled than this place. So if you want state control, then
it's less state controlled. You've got much more of a free market, haven't you?
You don't know anything about Singapore. Singapore is extremely state controlled.
And the EU's not?
No, it's not. Nothing like it.
It's not. With all its regulations, no
Regulations
democracy.
are about free trade.
Free trade in the EU.
Yes.
We'll see about that. Oh, we got the gold guy today.
Thanks, mate.
Why do you hate democracy, sir? Why are you out here protesting against democracy?
Do you want to have a serious conversation about it?
Pardon?
Do you want to have a serious conversation about it?
Okay. So the EU is fundamentally undemocratic. It destroys the concept of the nation state. It means that you have 5% say in across a political union rather than have 100% say in your own country. Why would you want that if you believe in democracy, sir?
That's a whole bunch of very contestable assertions you just made there.
What are the good things about the EU?
How much do you want to listen to a debate about this?
Well, I've spoken to a few other people and I've gone through in a lot of detail with them. I'm trying to see where this is going because I have no clue what's going on with the multiple protests, so it all seems to have been thrown a bit out of job. So give me a 1 minute, 60-second pitch. What are the best things about the EU? $60 seconds.
What are you trying to achieve?
I'm giving you a chance to voice the good things about the EU.
You don't know me. You walked up to me in the street, you're sticking that in my face. You're asking me a whole bunch of very leading questions. You made a whole bunch of very contestable assertions. It doesn't feel to me like you really want to have a conversation. It feels like to me like you want to back your own point up in some strange way that I don't understand.
Oh, it's fine. You don't have to speak to me if you don't want to.
Good day.
Good day. Oh, that gentleman refused to name one good thing about the EU.
Hi there.
Hello.
Remember me from Oxford here?
Yeah, ages ago.
Yeah. Good to see you. It's an interesting theme here. We're facing one another, yes.
What do you think about these people? These
Well, I've met one of them on the bus, and unknowingly I thought he was part of our crowd, so I started chatting to him, and I thought, oh no, he's saying all the opposite things to what I am saying. And then just towards the journey, I realised he was going to a different rally, which was quite funny. But I guess, I was just talking to my friend. Everyone wants to belong to a certain group which thinks the same, I don't have any ill feelings, but I think, it's a sense of belonging, the thing which drives people to come together. And, if people want open borders in Europe, that's where they gather, yes.
yeah, but doesn't that destroy democracy?
Of course it does, and I think, always think of the example how, Stalin used to just, transfer people, into different corners of Soviet Union just to mix people up so people don't have a sense of identity. Yeah, I'm definitely against EU. So.
Are you from Eastern Europe?
Yes, I am.
Which country, ma'am?
Poland.
So you know what it is to suffer under a internationalist project?
Well, I'm not living there now, but I lived in a socialist Poland, or communist Poland, and it wasn't too bad, I tell you, yes. But, I think the world has changed for whatever left and right as well. So, in my opinion, there's no more left and right really. They are same agendas under whichever party. It's just that how they implement it, what kind of persuasion they use to kind of implement it. That's the difference, yes. So anyway, how about you? What do you think?
Me? I think millions of people died for this country to be free and independent.
Yes.
And these people are complete sheep who are fighting for tyranny. We voted back in the 1970s to join a trading bloc.
Yep.
Obviously some more sensible people such as Enoch Powell could see what was happening.
Yep.
And could see it was built on the idea was a political union created by ex-Nazis in order to destroy the concept of the nation state.
Yep.
And that's what these people are fighting for. It tends to be a load of very posh people who are happy for a load of migrants to come over, push down wages, increase rents, right? And it's a way of them virtue signalling because they can afford to be pro-EU, can't they?
Of course. And I also think, suspect, but I can't be sure, that half of the people here, they just don't know how badly EU is doing at the moment economically. Germany is virtually on their knees, They're going to pre-industrial era. All EU is doing very badly. So in a way, I think with Brexit, we've done at least something to preserve, some kind of freedom to govern ourselves, as well as ability to trade with the rest of the world, not just with the EU. So, but anyway, hey, it's a free country, so people can do whatever they like. So far, yes.
Well, we'll see. We'll see whether the lots in high vis come down with their batons as per usual. But I've seen that quite a few times.
Do you think there would be a return to abolishing Brexit, or do you think we passed that point?
Up in the air, it's kind of 50-50 because Labour's going to walk the next election, probably.
Yeah.
And so if they walk the next election, they'll do whatever they like Labour's always done.
Yeah.
They're going to put through a load of socialist policies that are completely against the constitution and the culture and the character of the people of this country, because they want to.
And economically devastating a lot of the times, isn't it? Yeah.
They're already brainwashing all the kids. There's a demographic time bomb because kids are being indoctrinated.
Yeah.
And soon enough, they're gonna, they'll just say, oh well, the people have spoken. I go, which people have spoken? The people you've indoctrinated? This isn't a level playing field. There isn't a free market of ideas.
Yeah.
It's a completely corrupt system where our fundamental rights to life, liberty, property, our freedom of speech, our freedom to go out, trade, work, everything is being taken away and handed to poshos, people who work in parasite jobs, everyone who works in HR. Apart from one guy who I like. But everyone who works in HR, why do these jobs exist? Do companies really need HR, or are they parasites created by the government?
Yeah.
Lawyers, right? Why do we need so many of them?
Yeah.
Why do we need so many of them? Why can't you go into a court and represent yourself? If you're meant to obey the law, surely you should be able to understand the law. How can they say, we'll prosecute you for breaking this law, but in order to argue about it, you're going to need a lawyer? Well, surely you need a lawyer at all times. I need to have a lawyer in my back pocket. I need to have my own personal lawyer around with me. The law is very simple. Do no harm. Do no harm. No cause no one injury, loss or harm. And these people, they've moved completely away from that. They don't believe in freedom. They believe in tyranny. Look at our right to bear arms, which they're unlawfully restricting. Like, we have a right to bear arms. Like, it's in the Bill of Rights we have the right to bear arms. It's in our history, our convention. Okay, it was a duty for every man in England to bear arms in order to be able to defend this nation, and yet they want us weak, they want us muzzled, they want us disarmed.
Dependent.
Dependent.
Yeah.
They want us sucking on the teat of government handouts. So, yeah, and they want to take your kids and they want to castrate them.
I'm also, feeling so strongly about the support for Ukraine. I really don't, I don't really, support Ukraine or idea of, sending arms to Ukraine. I mean, unlike a lot of Poles, I'm actually pro-Russia. I feel that, that they have a good reasons to be where they are. Obviously, it's unfortunate that happened, but honestly, when I first came to Britain in the 70s, everyone was against the war. Everyone used to come out against Vietnam War, and now it's just a handful of people against the war. But the war is so cruel, it's much more cruel, it's much more severe than than ever's been, and very dangerous.
Well, they're manufacturing consent, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're brainwashing people in order to believe that this is good. This is the exact same playbook as the Iraq War, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Because everyone goes, oh, well, the Iraq War, that was bad. It's like, yeah, but if you were around at that time, aren't you one of the sheep who went for it? Aren't you one of, like, everyone goes, oh, no, I never supported the Iraq War. Everyone say, oh, no, I never supported that. But they did. Yeah. On average, they did.
The consent is based on, so-called sovereignty. But in fact, Ukraine, if you look at the map, before the First World War, there was no Ukraine. Before Second World War, there was no Ukraine. Once upon a time was Poland, then it was Soviet Union, yes. Then the Republic sort of, gained independence, but lots of Russians were trapped. And they, they're very badly treated. I mean, I was actually, my family is from Ukraine. There was a Polish family, and there were incredible slaughter of Polish people in Ukraine. So we know so we know what Nazi did in Ukraine. So for me to really even think or contemplate supporting Nazi regime and corporate interest, basically it's a mixture, isn't it, of corporate interest and Nazi sort of groups. It's really, everything is upside down. I just can't understand how people swallowed it.
Neither can I, really. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much.
You do have a lovely day.
Well, Willsy, isn't it?
Yep, I am Willsy. You are speaking to
Steve.
400 people. Steve?
400 people, yeah.
Yep, what do you have to say?
Right, what have I got to say? I think that, as you said a bit earlier, we are having things taken away from us. Liberty, money, means, freedom, all the rest of it. And this net zero thing is impossible to achieve, and it's also undesirable. It is, it just means a complete collapse of the economy, a complete collapse of humanity. It is a war being waged against humanity, especially with the energy bill that those creeps over there have put through. And they could have, I don't think very many people are going to comply with this energy bill thing. Britain will be turned into one big building site, and more gases and pollutants will be released into the atmosphere, even if only in the short term. And not very many people will be able to afford it. So, I mean, so it's ridiculous.
Well, zero carbon, you've got to look at what makes up our bodies.
Yeah. We are, I've heard it said that we are the carbon they want to eliminate.
I've heard that too.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Is that going on YouTube, or is it going on Rumble, or what?
YouTube, we should be mirroring it to Rumble, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But it's on you're live on YouTube right now.
Yeah, good.
Is there anything else you want to say? What do you think needs to happen with, what do you think about people taking down these cameras with the ULEZ?
Ah, yeah, now. It's been said that, when tyranny becomes law, then resistance is a duty, and it's as simple as that.
Beautiful.
You know?
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Right, I'm going to go grab Sadie. Aww. Okay, Pickle. Okay, come on, let's go together. Hold on. Sadie went down here somewhere. That's okay. Go on, give yourself a quick shout out.
Hello! What do you want me to say?
Shout out yourself, your videos.
Oh yeah. Tune into the Freedom Walker channel on YouTube. That's Freedom Walker. There's over 60 videos on there now. So yeah, plenty to see, plenty to do. Thank you.
And especially if you're up in Scotland, have someone local.
Yeah, it's nearly always been Scotland this year. The videos I've been putting up. And it's great because the numbers haven't been huge, but the energy is definitely there. It's more than it ever was. It's great.
What's going on up in Scotland with what's his name? That foreigner that you got?
Hamza Yousaf.
Yeah, the one who the racist one who hates white people.
Yeah, the one who hates white people. Well, I was out in Glasgow quite early on last week, and every day I went out I found somebody else sleeping in a tent on the street, so I've been sticking that on Twitter. But he's off in New York talking about the climate, and there's people sleeping in the streets and tents in the busy streets in Glasgow, and that's what it comes down to. It's all about his prestige events and all that now. It's all about his image, and his optics, and fuck the people basically, that's what it's come down to. But I don't think it will be for much longer because, even the die-hard SNP supporters of 2014 have just had enough. Any you talk to had enough. The next by-election will be out quite telling. That's in Rutherglen, a couple of weeks coming up. I think they're going to get wiped out there. I really do. Don't know who it'll go to, whether it'll go to Labour or Conservative, but it's definitely not going to be the SNP. So yeah.
Have you heard about the Scottish Libertarian Party? I heard that.
I have, yeah. I don't know if they've got a candidate going. They may have one. I know now Fraser's running for the Scottish Family Party, and they do have quite a bit of support. I think they showed as fourth in the polls on Thursday or something like that. So yeah, it's looking quite promising. But as usual, the locals, you don't get the turnout. You're lucky if you get a 25 or 30% turnout, but it's how they report it. But Scotland's no different from the rest of the UK. They just don't print if they don't want to print.
Well, you got to go out. You got to film the candidates.
Well, this is it. Yeah. I've got to up my interviewing skills. I've got to go to interviewing class and learn how to approach people and say, "Would you like to speak to the camera?"
Oh, it's always difficult. It always depends on the person.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I'm sorry, I've got to run off.
Yeah.
But I'll catch you soon. Guys, Freedom Walker, do subscribe. Alright, let's go find Sadie. Oh, there she is.
They will stop degrading us. They will not control us.
Okay, Sadie. Hello. Hello.
How's it going?
You are live to 400 people now.
Hello,
Do you
400 people.
Do you want to explain a little bit about what you come out here to represent?
Yeah, we've come out here to represent Home Sussex community. So we have built this amazing community of people down in Sussex. So we're all about, solution based rather than, moaning about what's going on in the world at the moment. Get together with your people, build a community, and that's exactly what we've done down in Sussex.
And do you want to explain what sort of happens? What goes on with the land and everything?
Yeah, so 4 things really happen at Hope. So we are all about community and socialisation. So we have loads of really amazing events.
that we put on that helps to keep us going and keeps us building. So from festivals, conferences, workshops, all those kind of things. The second thing is about education and empowerment. It's all about, we really believe that schools are a toxic environment for children. Ultimately, that we have created a community of people who believe that the children are better off to be home educated. So we offer a space for independent tutors to come and rent rooms from us, put on amazing lessons where they expose the children to all sorts of different ideas, to free thinking, to questioning, and to loads of amazing things, to getting outside and doing some really great learning. So it's about education and empowerment of children and of adults as well. One other thing that we're doing is about food and sustainability. So we grow the most amazing organic vegetables at Hope, and we teach the children how growing from farm to fork, and they learn all about cooking as well, and how important that is. So we have amazing teams of volunteers who come and help with our garden, and we're about to have a harvest festival because we've got so much beautiful produce being made in our garden. So that's really awesome. And the fourth thing is that we're just an amazing space for everybody to be and to come together. So we just love Hope, and it's just a really wonderful place. There's one of our tutors here, Matt. So Matt's part of the team. And
I need no introduction, I have you know.
Well, you never know. So yeah, if you haven't been to Hope, I'd urge anybody to come along and come see what we're about. And come and meet some of the community members there. We're all volunteers. That's the really thing that's really important about Hope, and one of the things that's why it works. It's been one of the real success stories after all the turmoil and rubbish of the last 3 years, is that Hope has been built out of a real foundation of love. There's no egos. Egos don't work at Hope at all. And so, the people that we've got there are some of the best, truly best people you can meet. And it's a really lovely place for children to come and learn, and make friends, and it's awesome. It's really, really great. So we've got loads of events coming up. So if you haven't been to Hope, go to our website, hopesussex.co.uk.
Onto Facebook, where we keep things updated constantly. Like today, for example, because we're representing Hope, which is why we're here, because it was born of protest, and that is our ethos, and we're here today, representing. Amazing.
And can I ask, how many people do you have in this community? Is it okay if I ask you for sort of...
Of course.
How many people do you think you have?
In our community, thousands of people. There are thousands of people who have heard of Hope, who've been to Hope, who support us regularly, who follow us on our social media pages, but regularly who come in throughout the week. We've got up to about 40, 50, 60 families who come regularly during the week, and we provide a space for them to help them with their home ed journeys. I mean, home education is obviously primarily at home, but it supplements any home ed that
We're happy to help with whatever we can. If someone has just got some questions, or if we can support in some way, we'll be happy to do so. Because it is quite daunting. Taking your kids out of state education is a daunting prospect, but there's ways of doing it and taking your time, doing it incrementally, deschooling first, and then looking at what you really want to do. So we're happy to help there as well. I would also like to add that we have nothing whatsoever to do with that bunch of clowns over there. They rejoin the EU. Because we are all we all voted leave because we believe in freedom and don't believe in fascism. So anyway, just to let you guys know, we have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, people have got the right to protest, and that's totally cool. But there was supposedly a vote where people voted to leave, and that's.
But they have the right to. They have the right to stand. They have every bit as much right to stand there and protest as we do. But I still think they're a bunch of clowns, a bunch of selfish boomers worrying about their second house in France. This isn't about freedom. This is about them worrying about their pensions and their money and their second homes. So, but we've got nothing to do with that load of jokers, man. Cheers, man.
What I was going to ask, how did you get started on your homeschool journey? Because I interviewed you ages ago, Sadie, but do you want to speak about how you started?
Yeah.
Is it okay to have this one?
Yeah, of course.
So we yeah, so I was a primary school teacher of 10 years. At the start of COVID, we were questioning it from the beginning, started to go on some protests. We were filmed at protests, we were photographed, and it was put in the paper, some mainstream papers. And some people from the school saw that I'd been on protests. I had already been quite vocal at school about, not making the children hand sanitise because their hands were bleeding and things like that. So yeah, I was, our home ed journey started, all the way back when we started the protest, and we just thought, we're not going to do this. And I thought, I can't be in this system anymore. I already struggled with it anyway because I was a teacher and my children being educated by other people. I thought, this doesn't make sense. Why am I doing that? Why I don't get any of my children's time during the day. It's given to somebody else. And you ultimately, you're handing over what's going in your children's heads to the state. The state decide on the curriculum. They decide what's going in.
It's also
their head.
interesting. I was watching TV last night, and it was just a mainstream thing on TV, which I don't usually watch. But in it, the kid was at school, about 14-year-old kid, and the parents were saying, yeah, I really hated school as well, don't worry. In other words, I hate school, my granddad hated school, my father hated school, but you've still got to be pushed into the system because I was. We've got to break the chain. You don't need to send your kid into that state brainwashing machinery, and it's got worse and it's going to get worse.
That's what David Edelman said. He wrote the book No School is No Place for Children. He said it's like a form of punishment, that it's because parents went through it. It's like a thing that you
That's
actually
some weird
enforce on
rite
your
of passage.
children. Yeah.
It isn't. It's unfit for our kids. Our kids go in awake, vibrant, open mind, ready to go, and they get that squashed out of them until they're in a round peg in a square hole, and then they get chucked out the mincing machine. Then the next year come in to replace them. It ain't good enough. We have rights. We have rights to help to home educate our children. We have rights.
Yeah, I think our children deserve better, and if we're wanting to raise children for a world that we don't know what that's really going to look like, we have to home educate them. You have to give them the skills, the life skills that they need. School isn't about doing that at all. We know that because you look at children who, young adults that are leaving university, they don't have life skills. They've got a degree, but they don't really have the skills needed to go into a workplace. Team working skills, problem solving, critical thinking. They don't have any of that. Home educated children do. And that is why, and I would urge anybody watching this who follows you guys, to really think about taking their children out of school, because it's totally viable. You can totally do it. So
The police want us to move because we're blocking the road.
I've got a privilege voucher apparently. Can I not use this?
Keep it with put it in your pocket and keep it with pride. Right, let's get out of the road.
Good
Right,
work.
we go that side. I don't want to be able to
I'm clean.
What do you think of TikTok?
Hey, I deleted it. Here's my privilege card.
You've got a privilege card, you've got white privilege, apparently I've got white privilege.
we are going to... What is that? What is that card?
I've got a white privilege card apparently. I just got handed one.
White privilege card?
No, it's for Jim. It's propaganda. It's for Jim's podcast. Live and correct, not political.
Oh, Jim!
It's Jim.
He's interviewed us before. Oh my God, he's great.
Hold this.
I'm using these when I can.
I'll tell Jim I tried using my white privilege card with the police, but for some reason it wasn't working.
You can trade this for an N-word pass.
Oh!
Give him a hug!
Will just got handed one.
Are you coming on Thursday?
No, he does got
coming on Thursday.
Thursday, what's happening? Is it a live?
The Jazz band are playing at our underground sound. Sorry, I'm all a bit.
Is that near Finsbury Park?
Yeah, obviously Finsbury Park. This is the podcast. The new one we do with. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
With Jim. It's so hilarious, man. We've been having a laugh.
I told Jim it was good. I've been meaning
Have
to.
you not seen it? Because we just had. I think we've got Nick Colliston on Thursday. We literally trying to pay like teachers to come in and just justify the gender stuff. And we nearly got one in for 100 quid.
Well, you can have a tutor come in if you like. You can have a primary school.
No, we want someone opposing. We want someone to justify the. Well, we want to have a civil debate.
You've got a bunch of normies here.
None of them will come on. They think they're...
Oh, have you lost your white privilege? I've got your white
Yeah, I
privilege.
got another one. I've got loads of them. Come to me for the white privilege vouchers. It's good because if you are of colour, you can cash it in, tell people. So it's like a reparation that you can actually spend.
Oh, sweet.
Because it's if you identify as white only, so it's important.
Well, what if I identify as 50% white? Can I only use it 50% of the time?
I don't know. It's open to a lot of things. It's really interesting when you get people. I gave one out to a hairdresser in Tottenham. They all went, "What's this?" And when I told them, they all cracked up and they were like, "Going, hey, we're going to cash it in."
Oh no, we're in danger, aren't we?
Look at how nicely they're printed as well.
It's so
We spent
lovely.
some money on them.
We should have had these.
Spent some money on
No, what? Do you know what I need? I need N-word passes.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You can give Jim one.
I can hand those out whilst Jim hands out the white privilege. We can do it at the same time. That'd be lovely.
I just wanted to say hello. I've got to run off again now.
Oh, okay. Are you doing well?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, I'm a learning sports assistant now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, trying to work my way from the inside.
If you're looking at what's going on, you should come down to Hope and see what's going on at Hope. Because we need more places where people support people at home education.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Sadie, do you have a Hope, please?
Yeah, but no.
We got to make tracks.
Yeah. It's good being in education. It's lovely. You know, I used to be a teaching assistant.
Thank you.
It's a whole place, like, these guys, these guys are tutored down there and they love it, don't they?
Yeah.
And what do you think of the Catholic Church with their indulgences? Hey, you money?
Oh, you're a soul man.
My excuse is this.
You're going to use your white privilege card. Right, anyway.
Right, let's get going.
I'll catch you
Right,
later.
we're going to get the train now.
Wait.
Oh, wait, even more. Here, take some more. Take some more. Where I've got more.
Stop giving me them. I can't stick them on. I'm busy doing journalism.
You do journalism stuff, you go and get something to eat.
What I got?
Have you been pointing that at my crotch the whole time? Honestly, the amount of ladies that you'll be getting hot under the collar.
Is it now? Is it?
What's going on? Where's Fiona? Where's it going?
I don't know. We're going to shoot anyway. Right, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, see you Monday, man. Nice one. Well done. See you Monday.
No, that's just likes. We got almost 400 people watching live.
400 people were looking at your crotch, right? Bye.
Bye, lovely.
All the best. See you on Monday.
Cut me up.
Okay, economics, don't forget. And reading that book as well. Reading that book. I don't know. I say, I really need a cigarette and I need some water. I've not had a sip of that. Thank you, Pickle. Oh. This way. Oh, Jesus Christ, these people be contact. I kind of want to just go in and troll them. I've got to say, I love their stickers though, because they say, oh, can we not have decorum? And they're all poshos, right? And I'm like, you've literally got bollocks on your sticker, mate. You've got bollocks on your sticker. Don't convince me. Like, you can have a sticker with bollocks on it, that's great.
I thought there was going to be speeches.
I don't know what's going on. Let's go that way. Let's go.
Are you that?
I actually don't know where the hell everything's gone.
Do you arrest them?
I guess we can sort of wrap up. Sorry, I need liberty to find
Can you wrap up?
You right there?
Yeah, because it was cheaper.
Can you not point it? Hold it up a second and then we'll head off, yeah?
These hold up, don't they?
Those vans, what?
Vans. You're looking over there. Vans. Plastic vans.
Oh, the bands. Sorry, I heard bands. Let us go. I don't know, do you want to give Chris a call? Or are you too tired? Do you want to head back? Okay. Alright, well, thank you very much everyone who's joined us. And please do, if you could, there is a little button, that's the notification button. Could you actually hit that? Because I've realised that's actually kind of important, because it'll actually tell you when we put out a video, which would be nice. So if you could do that, that'd be great.
Smash that bell.
Smash that notification button. There you go. You finally made me say it. I've actually never cared about it. If you hit the like button as well, that'll help. Apart from that, thank you for joining us, and more content is coming. Not necessarily in the quickest fashion, but more content will be on its way. We are building parallel society. We will tell you more about it. Did anyone have any questions for me? Laura, any questions in the chat? You have the lighter?
Easy go.
Oh, there we go. Any questions about today?
No.
Yeah, looks like it.
Nothing? Okay. Yeah, it could wake people up. We saw a lot of people on Oxford Street were bringing out their phones and filming, and that is how the narrative can be broken through, because you can get normies to go out and start filming, and then it's going out to the normie sphere. So normies are going to see the message. That is the success for freedom. It's been quite good energy at this protest. How many WEF signs did I see? Well, I think a lot of people were talking about the WEF. I think I saw, I wasn't looking at every sign. I saw a few WEF signs, not infinite amount, but everyone was talking about it more or less that I was speaking to. Well, we'll see about YouTube, we'll see about that. We've got a bit of a plan going on there, because there is, YouTube had better learn to respect recognised, recognised news providers, yes. So even though they passed this dreadful online harms bill, and we're just waiting for royal assent, or it might have just been given on that, well, that means that YouTube shouldn't be censoring journalism on its platform, which is great for us. Do you have any other questions from anyone? Because we're going to be heading off in a second. Just having a cigarette before I head on the tube. Yeah, well, the French their natural state is to be revolting, isn't it? So the French are going to be protesting. Thank you, Kit. God loves nationalists of all colours and cultures. So long as it's liberal nationalism, I think. I think the idea of, although generally I would say nationalism would be wanting the best for your country, and understanding that people are divided by the nations that they're in. They're united by many things, but they're also divided by their cultures, and to govern people on an international basis is going to be quite problematic. quite an issue, because you want to be governed on the smallest possible denominator. Really, most things generally should be left to the individual. Oh, thank you, Gary. Arab oil. Well, you see how BlackRock. It's not just Arab oil. You've got a network of competing interests that work together against the common people across the planet. Really, I've been looking a lot into French Revolution. I've been looking into. I've been reading a lot of Hopper. I recommend a lot of people to read Hopper, Democracy: The God That Failed. And I'm starting to read a little bit by Nima Parvini, also known as the Academic Agent. You might check out his channel on YouTube. He's got about almost 80,000 subscribers. He does some interesting stuff. Hello.
Where is everyone?
It's wound down now. It all seems to have wound down. Well, you can have a word. Tell everyone else.
On live stream.
We are. We've got about 300.
Sorry for interrupting, by the way.
Oh no, I'm just doing this. We were about to head off, but I was having a cigarette before headed off.
Nice.
We have Alex the artist. How's it going?
Good, very good. I just come from a meeting, important meeting, kind of about this stuff, but more about the spiritual and the psychological war that's going on inside all of us, and as another front in the war to basically realise human potential. That's why I missed the start of the protest, but it was very helpful.
Well, I think it's important. We don't just have to be on the streets. When I say we, obviously I'm here recording, but people who believe in freedom don't just have to be on the streets. They also have to be building a different society, a parallel society.
Yeah, it's all about community, and that reminds me, they're asking me to promote it actually. So it's called the Gnostic Institute of London. And it's free, and it's basically free philosophy lessons for anyone who wants to go to it. It's every Saturday at 1 p.m. in Woolwich. I can't remember the name of the address, but look on their website and it's all there. And they're doing a new series of talks in 2 weeks, and it's super interesting and it's super relevant, and they're totally awake to all the stuff that's happening. But it gives you a philosophical background for looking at the reasons for what's happening and what we can personally do about it. So yeah, it's nice to promote it. Thank you.
I will pull you up there with Gnostics, because I'm a little bit. I'm very skeptical on the Gnostic front. Have you read
what
some?
What do you know about Gnosticism?
So, Gnosticism is essentially, from the way I've had it explained. So, do you know James Lindsay?
I know James Lindsay.
Yeah. So James Lindsay goes through a lot of Gnosticism.
James Lindsay isn't the first person you should come to if you want to find out about Gnosticism. The first text you should find out about Gnosticism is the source, the Nag Hammadi scriptures. James Lindsay basically just wants to make some kind of link to it in terms of it being a proto-Marxism, which is totally historically inaccurate, because Gnosticism is not utopian like Marxism. So that argument, you can just totally throw that in the bin. But I mean, you can say anything has a shadow. You could say the shadow side of Christianity is Marxism. Marx got lots of his ideas from Christianity. You can apply that to any philosophical school. It's just another modality of thinking, really.
Okay.
And I think I'm really opposed to everything James Lindsay is saying. I don't think he is well read in the subject, and I don't really see his reasons for wanting to go after it, because the Gnostic movement is the awakening movement. It's to be a Gnostic is just to ask questions. That's all it means.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm open to that. So where can I? So if I go to what was the core text again?
It's the Nag Hammadi scriptures.
The
so
Nag
that was
Hammadi.
basically dug out the ground in 1945 in Egypt, and a huge amount of David Icke's philosophy is from Gnosis, which is from the Nag Hammadi scriptures. He talks about it. The language we use for what's going on at the moment, the archons, that is a direct reference from Gnosticism. So I don't know why anyone in the awake, freedom, anti-vax movement would want to be critical of Gnosticism, because it's about self-empowerment, it's about awakening, it's about enlightenment, it's about the shamanic journey, and it's about understanding the true nature of evil. which is what we're all coming to. I would say we're all Gnostics in this, even if you don't describe yourself. Buddhists are Gnostics.
Okay.
There's Gnostic influences in Christianity. Hinduism is Gnostic. It's just ancient mythology.
I do like my ancient mythology.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
I do find it very
comparative.
interesting.
It's comparative mythology. It's studying ancient religions and comparing that and seeing what is coherent knowledge that you can link across all those branches of teaching and storytelling.
Well, that's cool. So can I ask, how have you been doing with your art? What new artworks have you been bringing out?
Yes, I've been very busy on that. So I've got a project I'm starting in 2 weeks in Nepal. So I'm going to be going out doing that, making artwork from waste materials that are salvaged off Mount Everest. So it's true sustainability for a change, not neo-globalist sustainability that's just bollocks.
Do you think a lot of true environmentalism has been lost with the carbon cult?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's fallen foul of it, and it's quite sad. I can't remember his name, but the former leader, founding member of Greenpeace speaks widely on that topic. It's been hijacked and co-opted as a movement. I totally support its original aims because I think it's so important to protect the planet. All of our food that we get, comes from nature, so it's important to do that in ways that work with humans, though. We shouldn't see them as the plague.
Well, where can people find your artwork and purchase your art?
So you could go on my website, which is alexanderheaton.art, and I'll be putting some of the pieces that I'm going to be making in Nepal up there. I think there's one of the prototypes is up there. You can have a look at what I'm doing. Also, that's alexanderheaton.art. And if you want to have a look at the project that I'm working on, you can look on Sagarmatha Next on their website. And I've just started a new Instagram page at the behest of the project, because I don't really like Instagram, but just so the normies can keep posted on it. So that's alexander.heaton, I think, on Instagram, if you want to look at that as well.
I still don't know how to work Instagram. We've got an Instagram, I don't know how to work it.
It's really convoluted, yeah.
It's terrible, but if you are one of those people who has 1 foot in the matrix, then you can use Instagram to go and find it.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to end there. Do you have a last word? What is your last message to people?
Just keep the truth inside you, so just hold true to that and never give up, and let's hold these bastards to account for what they've done, because justice, you've got to keep fighting for justice for as long as it takes, until your last dying breath. Fight for justice.
Beautiful. Well, I wish you goodbye, everyone, then. If I can find out how to end the stream.
Everyone on the live stream, it's been nice to chat to you.
I don't actually know how to end this. Wait, how do I end it? Oh, wait, there's an X button. And there we go. Farewell.
Cool, thank you for that.